it was a mistake, it was an accidental. You have killed about 200 people. How could that be? Who did that? We want to see the person that gave the order. And then the responsible people should be writing out the names of the victims. As we are speaking right now, majority of the victims have been buried. Abi now, they say, go and bury them. Oh yeah, pack them. You don't see the head. Hey, I have found the head on our mama head be this. So another person get the leg. Somebody found the body over there. Let's bring everything together. Yeah, pack everything. Yeah. So the crime scene has already been, you know what I mean? No investigation or nothing. We are sorry, it was a mistake. Nigeria is a mistake. I'm sure you know. But you are not a mistake. I am not a mistake. Okay? And therefore, we didn't make this mistake. Now, here is the other complex part of it. There are those that this mistake, Nigeria, has managed to break, and it has broken them beyond remedy. We have no idea of the number, because Nigeria is a place where we don't have any real, authentic data on anything. It's very sad. Because there was never a time that they actually had a plan to create a country that the people that are going to be living in it agreed to be together. There was never a time. But if you have been enabling this fraud and the criminals who are taking actions and inactions as well, that are costing lives, you have now become part of those that we can consider as those who are sustaining the mistake. There are those who want this mistake corrected. And they are wishing that they can make a correction and fix it and correct this mistake, break it up to save lives. But the problem is that some of you, I believe the system has broken you so much, so worried, so scared of experiencing what living truly means. A lot of you have never lived. You have only been existing. And that is why, to them, you are just statistics. You are scared of what freedom feels like. Being able to have a free mind, free thoughts. The world where people are responsible for their own actions, including ensuring that irresponsible people or irresponsible leaders or dealers, as I call them now, are forced to be responsible because you are living, or you want to live in a responsible society where things actually work. Many Nigerians are only existing. They are not living. They live for the day. That means when you ask them about tomorrow, what is your plan? They have no plan. The only plan they have is for today. What am I going to eat this afternoon? Would I have enough left to eat in the evening? Or would I have enough left to even do owambe? Tomorrow can take care of itself. Because even sort of, Nigerians themselves, psychologically, majority of them psychologically just believe that they are only living for the day and anything can happen to them anytime. Police stray bullets could come in and just kill you. The police themselves may take you, abduct you, and eventually sell your own organs by killing you. They can abduct you, and then eventually extort you to the point that it's not different from when you are robbed by the armed robbers. So when Nigerians are going out every morning, they have the custom and culture of praying to God to please protect them today. Not because they have idea of what the God should be protecting them from. They just believe that there's too much danger. There's too much evil that could take their life any moment as they step out of their houses. Now, when they come back in the evening, they are full of full of thanks. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. I'm so happy. Thank you, Jesus, for protecting me all day and then, bringing me back home safe. When Nigerians enter public transportation or even going on a journey, they have to pray to God to please protect them against whatever is out there. An average Nigerian knows there's always something out there that could take their lives anytime. That's why I said a lot of you have not been living. You have only been existing. You have been living the fear that you have been enabling. You have been living in the fear that you have been enabling for so long by defending irresponsible people. That even when their actions lead to your death or the death of your loved ones, they still don't take any responsibility. And you are that statistics that could be taken out anytime. And that's why we are trying to remind you that life decisions and choices have, they have their consequences, good and bad. So, in a country where today the minimum wage is 30,000 naira, Kolu Tinubu, who said he removed subsidy, and your inflation jumped up and out of the roof. The same Kolu said he will give those who are government workers extra 35,000 naira. So for 6 months, and after that, you would have to go back to your 30,000 naira, and then from it, in that inflated, hyper-inflated economy that these rogues continue to loot and deplete. Now the tuition. You would have to pay for the tuition of your children. You would have to pay more for your medication. You would have to choose between food, medical, or school. And every other thing that you need to actually fund. The students of University of Calabar, they took to the streets yesterday. And in their own protest song, they said their school fees has been increased by 100%. So if you were paying 100,000 naira as a student in University of Calabar, it will be around 200,000 naira now. If you are paying 200,000, it's probably around 400,000 naira now. And the student of University of Obafemi Awolowo University, OAU, in Ile-Ife, Baba, the person, the pioneer, university in Nigeria, is there? In West Africa as well. It was actually meant to be the university that is named after the sage, the man that kickstarted the first free education by any government in any part of Africa, and to some extent, right, almost in any part of Europe too. When Awolowo, who saw value in education, decided to rally the people around that idea and his policies of free education, free and qualitative education, is one of the tools that actually gave we, the Yorubas, the early Yorubas, the independence of mind that later got corrupted by greed of the same beneficiary of free quality education of Awolowo, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Their own students, nursing students, from from 240,000 naira school fees, they are protesting that their own school fees has been jacked up to 850,000 naira. Is that not that you are going to have probably go and learn Mamalawo now? If you are trying to be a nursing or a doctor or what have you, are you know, is it not better now to go and learn Babalawo or a Dibia? I don't think you will need that much to be a Dibia. As things are going, hospitals and wards that are not even adequate enough to care for people are being shut down because they have no adequate staff. Nigeria need medical staff. They said that over 14,000 of Nigerian doctors and nurses migrated to the UK alone from 2022 to 2023. More are still waiting for their own visa approval right now. They are waiting to leave for other places. We have no idea of how many of them who left for America. The United States of America's embassy in Nigeria, they said in the last 1 year alone, they have interviewed over 147,000 Nigerians, including 30,000 students, professionals who have seek and then came for American visas. Majority of them have left, even though it's actually a money-making machine for these companies. In Nigerian mysteries, they are hunting, they are harvesting. Nigerian professionals, Nigerian politicians don't give a damn. And they are making it even worse, discouraging many into going into those very, very critical, professions that Nigeria actually needs. Nigeria, before now, they said, at least last year, okay, they said that Nigeria had over 34,000 doctors. If you have had over 14,000 doctors and nurses left for the UK alone in the last 1 year, that means probably plus or minus, you have less than 25,000 doctors and nurses, trained professional doctors and nurses in Nigeria, both in private and public sectors. And that should alarm you, even if you are rich. Your life is in danger. They may not be bombing you right now. You may not be in the location where their own, what do you call it? Their bombs could be dropped on you. You may not be living in Ozu, okay? You may not be living in any part of Igbo land right now where a target is put at your back and you could be killed anytime. They have a MO. They said all they have to say is that you are an IPOB, you are ESN, your family is ESN, your family is IPOB, okay? For them to kill you. You might be far from that. You might be safer from all of those, even though you might not be as poor as those who are begging for money to pay 10,000 naira medical bill so that their loved ones won't die. You have money. You have everything. You have this or that. But one of these days, you might have your own emergency, and the reality will stare you on the face and be like, you have the money. You have everything. There is no professional to take care of you. This is you at your last moment, about to die, because you are right there in the hands of a quack. Those who could have professionally saved your life, they have left. You mocked them. You laughed at them. You told them to go if they want to go. Nigeria will be great. Nigeria will be great one day. You are watching the professionals, the brains in Nigeria being taken away from Nigeria due to the criminality and the failures of these roads. And you are saying, let them go. There are more people that are going to take their places. But statistically, you have no doctors. You have no adequate nurses. Now, your schools, where you train them, those institutions where you should pay them, you have failed to do that. You are even making it difficult for them to even acquire that knowledge now. So in 10 years' time, those of you who are dreaming to become nurses and doctors, I have an advice for you. If you don't want to end up as a kabu kabu driver, eh? Or if you don't want to end up as an executive beggar, okay, online, and you probably, if you don't have a chance of to jackpot from Nigeria, you know what I mean now, as a student, since you can no longer afford to pay for your medical trainings, school fees, and all that, you have no protection or support from them. Isn't it better for you to begin to learn how to become a dibia, babalawo, mamalawo? They are also healers. The babalawo, mamalawo, that one will be, if you go and learn babalawo or mamalawo, you will be able to, instead of learning how to use a scanner, how to use MRI scan, how to use all those equipment that we have to see through inside the people, you can use your own mirror. You can use your, what do you call it? You can be a soothsayer to tell what is going on inside the people. And in this day and time, if you want to be a richer doctor, native doctor, you should also learn what you call the native doctoring. Native doctoring is to know what the herbs are meant for. Listen to me. Where Nigeria is going, where these criminals are pushing Nigeria to, I know a lot of you are already resorting right now to herbal concussion for serious medical conditions. A lot of you are suffering from serious medical conditions. You can no longer afford your medication. Now concussion you dey drink. Now to you, you are telling yourself and consoling yourself. You are not telling yourself that it is the destroyed country and the destroyed economy by these rogues that has made it difficult for you to be able to afford your medication. Your medication, something that has to do with your health care, your life. But because you have been conquered, you have been captured, your mind is no longer yours. Now you are consoling yourself and you are telling yourself, you have been wasting money all this while. How can I be paying 55,000 naira for inhaler? When I can use lemon, ginger, onion, red pepper, green pepper, yellow pepper, blue pepper, blue powder, what do you call it? Jamaica Sainty, Jamaica this, cook everything together, and it's all working for asthma. Now you are now trying to improvise, Lojuarai. You are avoiding the things that is actually pushing you to that edge. You are avoiding the people that are pushing you to that edge. You are avoiding your decisions that are pushing you to that edge. You are now improvising. You think you are smart. Do you think you are smart? You think you are wise? You are now drinking concussion. You are, those of you who wanted to be native doctor, this could be an opportunity for you in the future. Listen to me. In fact, you probably will help us to further solidify the African traditional or tradomedicine. Instead of using MRI scan and the rest of them, instead of using your mirror, your whatever, instead of using them to discover whose destiny they have tied somewhere, instead of using this your soothsaying and all of that to know those whose destiny have been eaten or those whose womb has been eaten, you won't be using those. You won't be using them for that. Now you are going to be using them to scan the inside of the people to know who has cancer, those who have fibroid, those who have an ulcer, those who have bone marrow, those who have blood cancer. Now, you help us kind of deepen the research on that. Student loan cannot pay for what they are still going to charge you. A lot of you are going to immediately drop out of some of these professional courses that could have contributed to the growth of that Nigeria that you are telling yourself will be great one day. A country cannot be great when a young population have been enslaved and they cannot really think. That country will never be great. A country that has failed to invest in education for their own young population, it can be great. You can speak in tongue from now till end of the century. You will still remain poor. God will never make you rich if your thoughts, your mind is made of a poor thought. And that's the situation now. Students are protesting. How do you expect them to pay 850,000 naira to become a nurse or doctor? And you are lacking these people, you are lacking these experts in every part of your country, and you are not investing on them. In fact, in fact, these criminals are trying to make laws that if you are trained in Nigeria as a doctor, and if you are trained in Nigeria as a nurse, and you ended up working in the UK, earning good money that they will never pay you in Nigeria, they want part of that money. If you are working in America or you are working in any part of the world as a doctor or a nurse or a medical practitioner, they want you to pay tax to them so that they can use that tax to buy houses in Dubai. They can use that same tax to kind of, buy themselves any latest automobiles, renovate buildings and build new ones for themselves. And guess what? Every one of you will see have to cough out and sell your kidney, your left kidney, just to be able to acquire the license of a doctor. To acquire a license to be able to be called a nurse. They are not interested in how you do that. In fact, they are now billing you in Nigeria because according to them, Nigeria is losing. Majority of you, after you graduate anyway, you are going to leave Nigeria and go abroad and go and start making billions for yourself. And because these are people with a narrow mind, greedy, selfish criminals who have no idea of creating wealth, the same Nigerians that they have chased away out of Nigeria, we are also the same Nigerians who are now subsidizing Nigeria. 36 to 42 billion Nigerians, $42 billion is being remitted back into Nigeria by all of us, these Nigerians, that the brain drain that has kept Nigeria in the dark. We are still those who are trying to put on the lights. Thousands of miles away from that contraption. Isn't that sad if you have to put it that way? Irresponsibility, where you have people who have no responsibility. And again, when they have the little money, what do they do with the money? They go on holiday on charades, things that are never going to add any value. They have come out, they said that, well, now only 422 people, Nigeria government sponsored to Dubai to go and discuss climate change. Even Nigeria police IG, in this wastefulness, Nigeria police IG also carry some of his own 50-50 naira, merchant police officer. He carried them go Dubai to go and launch green initiative. See, sometimes those who said they wonder how some of us actually keep up to still continue to talk and continue to educate the minds of the gullibles, Nigerians, about the issues of Nigeria. That to them, they have lost all the energy. They have lost, they are not interested. In fact, right now, when they hear Nigeria, they just sort of, go off like, what might be my business? They're asking us that, how do you manage to still keep talking about Nigeria? Like, man, you get mind though, you get strength though. These guys are doing exactly what they are known to be doing all the time. These are criminals. And then you see people who are expecting that those who are calling them criminals are wrong, or they are open. There are people like me, Mayegun, I am wrong. Do you know how many people who actually wishes that everything I am saying, that those ones that are already happening and the ones that are yet to happen? Do you know how many people who actually hope that I end up being wrong, like I am wrong? They wish that I am wrong. because they believe these criminals. They are offended when you call them criminals. When they look at them, they see people with money and power that should be respected and revered, and in fact should be feared. So people like us who continue to call them out consistently, some people wishes that we are wrong and they are right. That these people actually mean well. That they are going to, their decisions and actions are going to lift them out of poverty. They are hoping that their actions are going to indeed help them to be able to take care of their families. Their actions are going to keep them safe. They are hoping that Mayegun is wrong. This Mayegun, everything he's talking about is negative, negative, negative. Why can't he see anything positive about them? Do you want me to lie to you? I am talking about those whose lives are built on criminality. But because Nigeria is a criminal scene, the criminal thrives in Nigeria. You are actually expecting career criminals to do the right thing. I don't. And because I don't, I know they are criminals. Every time they act and their actions are exposed, they are proofs that I always want to bring back to you to say, listen, you cannot keep expecting these criminals to do anything right. You don't understand. Any right thing that these guys try to do is wrong. They would have to quickly correct it. If they say, oh, we want to give you electricity, and they decided to award the contract for electricity, which is the right thing to do, right? Immediately they will say, are we crazy? Why are we doing electricity? What is wrong with us? Then somehow, you will just be like, but they have approved this thing now. How come there's no electricity? Someone somewhere felt like, no, it is the wrong thing to give you that electricity. It is the right thing to keep you in that darkness. And when people tell me, how are you managing to continue to even, I said, how are you managing to still continue to watch Mayegun? If you are being honest with yourselves too. That, it's nothing concern me with Nigeria anymore. If they like, they should kill themselves. If they like, they should die. If they like, they should I'm not interested in about Nigeria anymore. But you are interested. The reason why you are interested is because every day, you are hoping that all this evil happening, you are not going to receive a call, and that's going to be your loved one on the other hand, crying, asking you to come and help her, help him. And there you are, very far away. You can't help them. Every day, you are hoping that, that Nigeria will not happen to the people you love. And every day, you are also doing your little, or even more, to ensure that your family and loved ones don't end up on the streets. Even though, if they're this Nigeria issue, I'm tired of Nigeria. I'm tired of them. I'm not interested anymore. I don't even think about them anymore. It's all you say. But it is not completely true. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is this. To everyone who is yet to be a sort of a fatal victim of Nigeria as it is, the choice and the expectation of from these rogues, your choice of them and the expectation from them are built on pure lies. And to somebody like me, we all know where that is going to end. Nigeria police want to support, what do you call it? Climate change. And they went to Dubai to launch a green initiative and begging the people there to please support Nigeria police. They want to be driving electric vehicles. And now, police IGs in Dubai is telling them there that they want to, in their policy, When was that? When was it the policy of Tinubu that the Nigeria police are going to be driving electric vehicles? Do you even have electricity to charge electric vehicles? But it's there in Dubai. I'll show you. Nigeria police chief. I've been waiting that they call him police IG. Just like the Bala Blue.
The core objectives of the Nigerian Police Green Initiative include encouraging lifestyle change by officers and men of the Nigerian Police Force, adoption of solar power across all police stations, barracks, and colleges, increasing green credentials and sustainability standards in all new barracks development and redevelopment, fostering effective relationship with the wider society and lighting up communities with solar power to reduce security vulnerability, conducting outreach programs to educate citizens on the importance of preserving natural resources, reducing pollution, and engaging in sustainable practices. Permit me to add at this juncture that the Nigerian Police Green Initiative is the latest milestone in our green and sustainable journey. It is a testament of our leadership by example and demonstrable evidence of Nigeria's compliance with the global agenda on climate change. It is our firm conviction that our leadership initiative in this respect will galvanize actions and inspire other agencies of government and private organizations to follow suit. We have designed a robust framework for the implementation of the NPGI, Nigerian Police Green Initiative, with the overall objective of achieving energy transition in the medium term. The core enabler of this initiative is the adoption of renewable energy as priority and default energy source by the Nigerian Police Force. This will necessitate the retrofitting of our police stations, police posts, police colleges, police barracks, and other police facilities with renewable energy application. In addition,
nuisance leleyi.
Now the way be that Nigeria Police IG. Nigeria Police want to achieve net zero carbon oxide something emission, and Nigeria Police is going to have solar power. See, you don't want me to show you. You probably would never want me to show you the Nigerian police barracks. You don't want to see that. Sure, you get. Nigeria Police are going to have what do you call it? Electric vehicles. You know, Nigeria Police know they chase police. They know they chase thief. Nigeria Police themselves na thief. Sure, you understand? Nigeria Police, they will rob you and jump into their vehicle and they will escape. Have you seen where police they escape? Imagine that they charge the battery using their generator. After that, okay, it's so crazy, right? May I even say this? Nigeria Police, if you go to Nigerian police station, you will see generators because there's no electricity, there's no power. You will see generators, electric generators, petrol and diesel. So the people who are campaigning for climate change, they want to reduce the use of a diesel engine, those exposed things. They want to reduce that petrol by the year 2030, I'll be 20 in the UK. We are not going to be driving cars with diesel cars in the UK by 2030 or 2035. So there will be no diesel anymore. So now in Nigeria, where Nigeria Police, they are using their vehicles are petrol and maybe diesel. In their different barracks and different police stations, you have generators there. So the people who wanted to help the world to fight carbon whatever, who spent nearly 1 billion naira on a party trip to Dubai to go and launch green initiative. So you will just charge they will go and buy petrol and they will charge they will charge their trucks, their pickup. they will charge them for maybe 1 hour and all that. So everybody will charge with petrol. Then they will just go out and begin to extort all of you for money they will say, give us charging money. It will now be called rechargeable money. Every time they come and arrest you, you pay them rechargeable money. We need to charge our cars. Wèrè ló pọ̀ jù nínú wọn. Wèrè ló pọ̀ jù nínú àwọn Arabi. Wèrè. There is another wèrè who was also there. He is the head of the Jagaban army. This wèrè was there too. Okay? Israel. And when he was asked to, listen to him, he's talking about all of for Niger Delta. What do you call it? Climate change.
Because the indigenous communities were bitter about the fact that there was so much exploration of their oil by Shell and all the Western corporations, and extracting the same oil into Europe and paying the country millions of money, billions of dollars, yet the impact of their own immediate community and the welfare has not improved. And so, but one of the things that we now deal with the new Petroleum Industry Act law is to be able to now have a concession for local communities, for host communities. As a matter of fact, the government pays the state, the federal government pays the state where extraction is being done, exploration is being done. I think 13% derivation for host communities. So an act of humanity, like you mentioned, where the communities themselves are being carried along, are being supported as developments are encroaching into their zone, will also lead to peace and harmony and decreased conflict. To add to
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
Holy shit. You see this, man, na Chinese. Some people have now interpreted his expression to something like, holy shit. And that was the reaction to Tinubu's speech yesterday. You heard that, Abi, where Tinubu was doing his Bulaba, Balablu, and all that. And you saw the Indian, Abina, the Emirati guy, who was like that. Like that. I'm going to play you the video again. That your Israel is also there. He said he is a guest of UAE. And he's talking about the Niger Delta 13% derivation formula. And the same APC, Egbekegbe, where Pastor Ruga said, do you remember when Pastor Ruga said, Ogoni clean up? That Bokwari has already, the government has already paid $1 billion to clean Ogoni land. So they can't take pictures of about four tippers, trailers, 4 trucks that they have, they've dug the earth, the sand and all of that. Okay, they've dug the ground, they kind of dumped that on the back of the truck. And they took the picture. They said, Ogoni cleanup started in earnest. Bokwari will clean Ogoni land of oil spillage. It's been 8 years now. Baba, 1 billion, 2 billion, fake Pastor Ruga is still alive. The Ogoni cleanup is still there. And they have already stolen over $2 billion in the name of cleaning Ogoni land. The Ogoni people in Niger Delta, they cannot farm on their land because their land, you see that land, the soil is soaking with crude oil, spillages from the oil exploration in those areas. They cannot fish because when they go into their own mainstreams and their rivers, the fishes and the aquatic life they are either dead or to near non-existent. All of this required serious it requires the stoppage of the spillage. Then the serious ecological cleansing. Ecological is like eco. Then cleansing means cleaning. They have technology to do that. But the exploration, the oil spillage, and the whole exploitation and all that is still ongoing. But the way went to Dubai to go and tell his listeners that we gave them is because it's the same like that of a Kolu. And you see this reaction. Pay attention to this reaction, okay? Now that Chinese man, you know, normally when you go to summit or international gatherings like that, you see all the people who have earpiece in their ears, right? There are those who don't likely speak your language. There are people who probably don't speak English. So even if you go there and you are speaking Arabic, you see that earpiece is going to be interpreting it into your language. Whether you are a Chinese, it will interpret it to Mandarin, the Chinese language. If you are English, it will interpret it to English. Tinubu, Nigeria was colonized by Britain. Our official language in Nigeria is English. Tinubu is a former governor of Lagos State, 8 years governor of Lagos State. He never speaks, this is not how he normally speaks. Back in the days, he is demented, he is suffering from dementia. He is suffering from a long-time drug abuse, which has also affected some part of his internal organ. He is not healthy, like healthy. His cognitive, is depreciating. He cannot win sentence together to make real sense in truest sense of it. He is already going off. He never used to be like this. When he was governor, of course, he was talking slow, but he has depreciated health-wise, seriously. Now, that is the Tinubu, the president of Nigeria, at the Climate Change Summit, representing a country that has been speaking English, at least as official language, for over 100 years. And at least the most part, the 63 years, which is the most part of that 100 years, they have taught us to speak English and speak English and speak English. Now, this demented Kolu, a certificate forger, election rigger, the Mr. Bala Blue, he was talking about climate change, where Chinese man who probably didn't understand English is waiting for the interpreter to interpret it into his language. And only God knows when Kolu was talking. Now only this man and God knows waiting the machine they interpret. Because the man was like, the expression was, holy shit. Holy shit. Wow. Oh my God. Like that. And people they started feeling like it is not waiting Kolu they talk. The interpreter is interpreting. But that's why I'm going to play the video for you again. This is what they spent $1 billion around. And